So yesterday we were reviewing dividing decimals with having one divisor. That would be like this problem. Okay, 75 cents divided by 5 people. Today we're going to take it one step further and we're still going to be dividing, but this time we're going to be dividing with 2-digit divisors. Okay, it doesn't really change our method of dividing. What changes is the fact that when we were dealing with fives, because we know our 5 times tables, it was really easy to figure out, how many groups might fit in to whatever part of the dividend we were looking at that moment. Today might be a little tricky because I don't know my 15 times tables. Okay. So it's important that I make them. Okay. So when I get to this problem, I'll show you what I mean. So here's just a quick review. So yesterday we would have something like this. We would do our box and we would have our 75 cents. So we would put $0, decimal, 75 cents, and we were dividing that between 5 people. So remember we did DMSB, right? Divide, multiply, subtract, bring over. So obviously if I have no dollars, I can't share that between my 5 people. So that's 0. 0 times 5 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. And so I need to bring this over. Well, remember, I do not bring it over into the decimal column. I bring it over into the tenths place. Okay? And always make sure you put your decimal there in your quotient. So now I have 70 cents. Okay, 7 dimes. And I want to share that between my 5 people. I can share that. So if I have 7 dimes and 5 people, everybody can get one of my dimes. Okay, so 1 times my 5 people is 5 dimes are gone now. Okay, so I have 2 dimes left. Well, again, I can't cut those dimes up. I have to trade them. So I'm trading those 2 dimes for pennies. So 2 dimes is equal to 20 pennies. So I'm going to bring over my 2 dimes into 20 pennies. And now I have 25 pennies. If I have 25 pennies that I'm sharing between 5 people, everyone can get 5 pennies. So 5 times 5 is 25, and I have nothing left over. Okay, so that was yesterday's process. Today's process is almost exactly the same, just with one little bitty difference. So I still have my 75 cents that I want to share. So I make the same exact box, 75. I put my decimal here. But this time I'm sharing between 15 people. Okay. So here's what I want you guys to do today. When you have a 2-digit divisor and you do not know the multiplication facts, you have 2 options. Okay. You can use guess and check, or you can make your repeated addition. Okay. So repeated addition is saying, okay, one group of 15 is 15. If I add another 15, that's my second group. And I add another group of 15, that's my third group, and so on. And you would keep going until you get to your 9th group. Okay. The reason we stop at 9 is because I can only put 1 digit in each place value, right? I can't put 10 here because that's not what we do with place value with base 10. We can only put 1 digit. Okay, so I only have to go up to 9. Okay, so that's repeated addition. Guess and check is where you go, I think that maybe this is going to be 3 groups. So I'm going to try 15 times 3 and see what I get. Well, 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 1 plus 1 is 45. Okay, you see how 45, 45. It's going to get me my same answer. It's just what I'm comfortable with. Some people are comfortable with adding your 2 digits. Some people are comfortable with multiplying. It is totally up to you. Okay, so I'll kind of show you both methods as we're going through. So coming back to this, I have 75 cents and I need to share it between 15 people. Well, there's no dollars, so I cannot share dollars. So there I do all my subtracting and everything. So I'm going to bring this over. Okay, so again, I'm with my 7 dimes. Well, if I have 7 dimes, but I have 15 people, there is no way that I can cut those dimes up to give all 15 people a dime. So again, that's 0 groups because I cannot give all 15 people a dime. So I do my subtracting and I bring this over. So in essence, what I've done is now I have 75 pennies, okay? And I want to give those 75 pennies to my 15 people, okay? So here's where if I continue with my repeated addition over here, okay? So let's say I add another 15, that's going to give me 60. If I add another 15, that's 5 groups, and that gives me 75. So if I had done all my groupings, my repeated addition up until 9, I would see that the 75 cents is right there. So that's 5 pennies each. Okay, if I had done my guess and check, I could have looked at this and said, 15 times 3 is 45. 45 is not 75, so I need more than that. And I could have said, oh, let's try 4 and see. Well, that's 20. And then that's 6. Oh, well, I'm getting closer, but not quite there. So then I might have to say, let's try 5 and see what that gets me. And there's my 75 I'm looking for. So either option, guess and check or repeated addition, it's totally up to you which one of those methods you use. It will get you the same answer. All right, so for this problem, let's continue on with the money and the people, because I think that's a lot easier when we're working with decimals if we think of money. So let's pretend that this is $78.20. Okay, remember, we know that I don't have to put a 0 back behind here. It's still $78.20, even if we stop at the 2 and there's no 0. And this time I have 17 people that need to share the money. So I'm going to set up my box. So I have $78.20. Now, if you want, you can add that 0 box in there. Okay. We might need it. We might not. We might get all the way over here and find out that all we do is put 0 minus 0 equals 0. Okay. So we don't know until we get to the end of our problem. So I am going to put my decimal here for my quotient. And here's my 17 people. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do on this one, I think I want to use the guess and check method for multiplication when I'm doing out my facts. Okay. So again, daddy, mama, sister, brother. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring over. All right, so I'm dealing here with my $70. Okay, so I have $70 and I need to trade that between 17 people. Okay, well, technically, I mean, I know there's no such thing as a $70 bill, but let's pretend there is. Okay, so I have a $70 bill and I need to trade that between 17 people. That's not going to work. Okay, I can't cut that $70 bill and give that to 17 people. So I cannot make a group of 17 out of 7, so I say it's 0. 0 minus 17, or excuse me, 0 times 17 is 0. So I'm still left with my $70. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that like $70 bill. I know that's fictional, but I'm going to take my $70 bill and I'm going to trade it for $71 bills. Okay. So bringing this over here is that action. So now I have my $71 bills plus my $8 bills that I had before. So now that I have 78 $1 bills, I need to find out how much I can give to those 17 people. So here I'm going to use my guess and check. I'm going to say, I want to try 4 groups. I'm going to see if 4 groups, $4 for each person would get me to 78. So 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. Oh, that gets me pretty close, doesn't it? Okay, I want to see what will happen if I get 5 groups. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 1 plus 3 is 80. Okay, so that 85 is over my 78. I cannot go over. Okay, it is okay if I go under with the 68 and have a leftover because I can move that to the next column. But I cannot have an over amount. So I'm going to go with 4 groups here. So everybody can have 4 $1 bills. Okay, if all 17 people have 4 $1 bills, that's $68. If I subtract that, I'm left with $10 bills. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those $10 bills, okay, 10 $1 bills. I shouldn't say it that way because it's really $1, right? So I have 10 $1 bills, okay, and I'm going to trade those for dimes, okay. So that's the action of taking this 10 and putting it here, is that now I have 102 dimes, okay. So I definitely can give all 17 people some dimes, but I got to figure out how many. Well, I've already done some of my work over here. So I already know that 17 times 5 is 85. So I'm going to see maybe what 17 times 7 gives me. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 1 plus 4 is 11. Ooh, that's too much. So now I need to back up. Since 85 is not enough, 5 groups isn't enough, 7 is too much, I'm going to try 6 groups. Oh, look at that. 6 groups of 17 is exactly the 102 that I need. Okay, so that means that over here, everybody gets 6 dimes. So if all 17 people get 6 dimes, that's my 102. Okay, and here's what I was talking about. Like, I don't even need this column, do I? Okay, now, sure, I can bring this over here. And I can say, oh, nope, we don't have anything. Okay, but really it's just a whole bunch of nothing, right? So in this case, I didn't actually need that last column. Okay, but my answer is the same. So I have $4.60. Okay, so for our last problem together, we have this word problem. Sadie pays $98.75 for 25 14-ounce boxes of Yummy Flakes cereal. How much does 1 box of cereal cost? Okay, now don't be tricked here. Okay, they're trying to trick you 2 ways. They're trying to trick you by using a number as a word. Okay, so this is 25 boxes. Okay, they're also trying to trick you because they're telling you the size. So it makes it seem like I'm going to have to do something with the 14 ounces, but really I'm not. This number is her total, okay, and this is for how many boxes, which is 25. Okay, so this 14 ounce, we don't need that number at all. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to do $98. $98.75, and we're dividing that between 25 boxes. Okay, now last time we did guess and check, so this time we're going to do repeated addition. Okay, which should be pretty easy because we should kind of know 25s if we think of our quarters, right? So I know that 1 group of 25 is 25. Okay, so we're going to do some mental math since it's quarters. How much is in 2 quarters? Well, 50 cents. 3/4 is 75. 4/4 is $1, right? 5 is $1.25. Whoops, I don't want that decimal there because we're using the idea of quarters, but it's whole numbers right now. Okay, so 6 would be 150. 7 is 175. 8 would be 200. And 9 would be 225. Okay? Remember, I stop at the 9th multiple because I can only put one digit in each place value. Okay? So again, this was mental math because we already know a lot about quarters. If I had something else, like let's say I was doing 17s again, like the last one, I can do mentally 1 times 17, and a lot of us can do 2 times 17 mentally. But then after that, you would have to actually start adding. So you would make sure you get the correct multiples. Okay? So now that I have my multiples, I can start dividing. Well, I have 9, but I need 25, and that's not enough. So now I come over here. I have 98, and I need 25. So I look for 98. Well, I see 75 is getting close. 100 is over. I cannot use over. Okay? Under is okay because then if I have a remainder, I can move it over to the next place value. But I cannot have a multiple that is over my divisor or my dividend that I'm dealing with. Okay? So in this case, I need 3 groups of 25, which is 75. So I do my group or my subtraction. That gives me 23. Okay. I'm going to give myself a little bit more room here because I need to put 23 with that 7. So I need to see how many groups of 25 I get out of 237. Well, if I look over here at 9 groups, that's as close as I can get, right? So 9 groups of 25 is 225. And now I subtract 2 and 1. Let me give myself more room over here. I should have drawn my box way bigger than I did. So this was a 5. So now I can put my 12 here. So now I have 125. Well, if I look right here, 5 groups is exactly 125. And I now have nothing left over. So each box costs $3.95.